Many Canadians once again risking their health for Olympic hockey. Anxious, patriotic fans holding their breaths with racing hearts as the women try to get gold against American rivals. Good afternoon. This is CTV News at 5. I'm Stefan. Well, if you weren't able to catch the women's gold hockey medal game today, you may have spared yourself some intense heart palpitations. Both teams playing with grit. Canada taking an early one-goal lead, but the U.S. came back to tie it up at the end of the day. Not the overtime outcome this country was hoping for. CTV's Dylan Dyson joins us live with local reaction. Dylan.
Yes, Stefan, whenever Canada's hockey teams step on the ice at the Olympics, gold is the expectation. But it was a silver medal today for Canada's women, who fell to the USA 2-1 in overtime. But despite the outcome, these are the moments that Canada is built around: pride and unity surrounding a sport loved by the nation. Watch parties were held across Ottawa this afternoon as fans young and old came together to cheer on Canada. At St. Gabriel's Elementary School in Canada, it was an afternoon for students to come together to create first-of-their-kind memories for many young, hockey-loving Canadians.
Wow, what a historical moment this would be for us if we could all watch it.
It's really cool because it's like women's hockey. And
as you can see, there's like not a lot of people in our school who play hockey, so it's really cool to get to have this day to just watch hockey as a school.
Canada's Kristen O'Neill scored the opening goal of the game for Canada before the USA's Hillary Knight tied it up with just over 2 minutes left in the third period. This was the 7th time Canadian women faced off against the U.S. for gold. The U.S. also beat Canada for gold in 1998 and 2018. So a disappointing outcome for the country, but a valiant effort by our women's team nonetheless. Stefan.
Definitely. We're very proud of them. Thank you for this, Dylan. While several restaurants in the ByWard Market had the game on down at City Hall this morning, an action plan to make the area over is being heavily discussed. CTV's Natalie Van Roy joins us with a breakdown. And Natalie, some of the details are already getting a bit of opposition.
That's right, Stefan. The market plan would add in a food hall in the ByWard Market building. It would also temporarily shut down streets and also add in art installations. Now, Ottawa's mayor showing what's in store for the major construction ahead as part of a plan that first got the green light in 2021. The project adds new outdoor dining terraces, public art, and also adds a second floor outdoor patio to the ByWard Market building, while also shutting down streets.
The ByWard Market's a huge part of our city. It's a critical part of our future, and we need to invest in it, and we need to tackle all of the issues that we're facing with the market and also create lots of exciting new spaces.
Businesses inside the ByWard Market building excited about the plan, but also worried what the project could bring for construction. City staff say the full report on the market action plan will be released on Friday as part of the agenda for the March 3rd meeting of the Finance and Corporate Services Committee. Now, this is all announced about 1 year ahead of the ByWard Market turning 200 years old in 2027. Stefan.
All right, CTV's Natalie Van Roy reporting live for us. Thank you, Natalie. In the meantime, one area councillor is raising concerns that the return to office mandate for federal workers could push an already strained transit system to its limit. Orleans South Navan councillor Catherine Kitts says the city's system isn't ready and infrastructure hasn't kept pace with demand. The O-Train East extension is still delayed, with testing now expected this spring. Meanwhile, aging buses and ongoing train issues continues to add pressure on commuters, and for some, their journey to work can only be described one way.
It's a mess. There's the buses sometimes come, sometimes don't. They tend to be pretty jammed.
Even though we are advancing infrastructure solutions that could make a difference, the actual constructed solution is still a number of years away, and I think it's all going to come home to roost.
The mayor admits transit has been a challenge, but says improvements are on the way. The city is expecting to receive another 60 electric buses in the next month or two. And a second federal union has taken legal action over the federal government's return to office policy. The Professional Institute of the Public Service of Canada says it has filed an unfair labor practice complaint over the government's decision to change the hybrid work policy while bargaining is underway. The Public Service Alliance of Canada also filed an unfair labor practice complaint. The number of land border crossings between Canada and the U.S. continue to slide across eastern Ontario's 3 bridges, all which head into New York State. The latest data from U.S. Customs and Border Protection shows the steepest drop at the Prescott-Ogdensburg Bridge, just over 14,000 crossings in January, down from nearly 20,000 a year ago, with declines continuing each month. Many border town residents who frequently use the bridge say while political tensions have played a role, rising costs are front and center too.
Pricing in the States is the same as it is in Canada, and then you pay the exchange rate on top. So a regular meal would be the same as it is in Canada, and then the exchange rate, so it's very significantly costly.
If the exchange rate is going to hurt you, if shopping in the U.S. is going to cost you more because of tariffs, it's like, what's the point?
While air travel between the two countries is also down, the real turbulence is at land crossings. The annual CHEO 50/50 fundraising lottery is now open. Half the jackpot goes to one lucky winner, while the other half supports kids and families at CHEO.
Funds raised from this lottery are directed to our Kids These Days campaign. And if you come to the campus on Smythe Road, you'll see our integrated treatment center building under construction. That's underway, slated to open 2028.
This year's jackpot is guaranteed to be at least $500,000, and as more tickets are sold, the jackpot grows. New this year, there will be a bonus $10,000 prize drawn every week. Visit CHEO5050.ca for tickets. The deadline to buy is April 9th.
When we follow the money, we expose the networks behind these crimes. We identify those which are responsible.
Coming up on CTV News at 5, Canada's finance minister unveils new measures to combat extortion-related crimes. And our Jackie Perez is joining us live in studio now with our first check on the forecast. Jackie.
Well, Stefan, we continue with another spring-like day, but yeah, snow is on the way. Not quite for the overnight, where we will get down to about -8 degrees, cloudy skies for our evening, and then tomorrow in the afternoon, that's when we will likely see between 3 to 5 centimeters of snow. Some parts of eastern Ontario, though, could be seeing more. There's a winter storm warning in effect for Smiths Falls, Brockville area, up to 10 centimeters of snow, and this is in place until Friday evening. We'll get a closer look at your long-term forecast in just a bit. Stefan.
Thank you, Jackie. Here's what you need to know. Come celebrate the Year of the Horse this Saturday at the Lunar New Year Parade in the heart of Ottawa's Chinatown. The parade will take place on Somerset Street West between Bronson Avenue and Bell Street between 12 and 2 in the afternoon. A live check on traffic right now. Some congestion that looks a little bit more regular than it did yesterday. Slowdowns in the westbound lanes from Parkdale to Woodruff. Eastbound lanes are slow going from Carling to Saint Laurent. There is a collision right now at Lee's that needs to be cleared up. You're watching CTV News at 5.
Tomorrow.
They made it sound like mournful event.
Born with a condition but refusing to be defined by it. How Kyle Landy is defying the odds and lifting others along the way.
This man has single-handedly helped save my life.
Tomorrow on CTV National News and watch on Crave.
Returning to one of today's hot topics, the City of Ottawa is outlining short-term and long-term plans to revitalize the ByWard Market. But those plans will not include permanently making some streets pedestrian-only in the popular tourist area. Today's radio question of the day is asking, should we close more streets to cars in the ByWard Market?
That would be fantastic once we have our LRT system up and running properly and, proper OC Transpo buses and whatnot, so that there will be less drivers downtown, sure, in theory. I think there should be other things taken care of first before we launch into another project.
Christy Cameron is here, and Christy, I know you just spoke with someone that has great insight, the executive director of the ByWard Market District Authority. So tell us more about what she had to say.
So I spoke with Victoria Williston, the newly minted executive director of the District Authority, and I asked her straight up, are we talking about shutting down streets to cars full time? Because we have had a bit of that in the past, and like a decade ago, there was a fancy planner that came in and said we should make, the entire ByWard Market, the entire thing as a whole, pedestrian only. And she said, no, what we're talking about are flex spaces. So a flex pedestrianized street, sort of at the mouth of the ByWard Market Square, right where it meets George Street. So this is a space that will sometimes be for cars, but when we have big events, it will be shut down. And they're not looking at shutting the streets down full time. And a lot of the people that were texting into the show today thought that that was a really good balance. You know, invite people in, prioritize those who are on foot sometimes, but make sure that we still have room for parking and deliveries and pickups, that sort of thing.
That sounds really reasonable, because I would have been concerned for businesses trying to receive some of those deliveries.
Yeah, and you know, we do get a lot of feedback. I had the co-owner and the manager of The Laugh, one of Ottawa's oldest bars, on the show, and she was really happy with this. Deke LaBelle said, this is a good start, and anytime that we're talking about, you know, revitalization and inviting people into the market, it's a good thing. I will just say, we need to remember it's not just tourists that are coming to the market. People live and work down here.
That's right.
So I'm very eager tomorrow to see what they have to say about the parkade.
Yes.
There was talk of limiting parking to just 3 hours or less.
Or doing something different with the parkade, Kirsty.
Well, if you're working, you're not working a 3-hour shift.
We're already struggling to find parking, as you know.
Where are you
Kirsty.
parking? You're not taking transit. Not right now.
You can join the conversation and leave a comment through the Talkback feature on the iHeartRadio app. You can listen live to Kirsty Cameron on Newstalk 580 CFRA weekdays from 2 to 6. And now watch Kirsty's segments anytime on YouTube. Subscribe to the Newstalk 580 CFRA channel. New today from the federal government is more support to help fight laundering, money laundering, extortion, and terrorist financing. According to the feds, there are more cases popping up in several provinces, including Ontario, and they plan to strike the iron while it's hot when it comes to the ongoing criminal activity. CTV's Adrian Gabriel explains.
A jarring scene that's been playing out across the country, from Brampton, Ontario to Surrey, BC.
For too many people, extortion is not an abstract concept anymore.
The federal government announcing that FinTrack will embed with local Canadian law enforcement as they try and work together to fight violent extortions.
When we follow the money, we expose the networks behind these crimes. We identified those which are responsible.
For more than 2 years, homes and businesses predominantly owned by members of the South Asian community have been targeted. The individuals behind this shooting in Brampton last month recorded themselves, then sent the homeowner this video, demanding $500,000. Last year, police in Surrey, BC were made aware of 133 reported extortion attempts. In Calgary, there was another 17. In Peel region west of Toronto, police were notified of 476 incidents, with many more believed to be going unreported. Over the last 2 years, CTV News has been investigating multiple violent extortion attempts from coast to coast. We've spoken with some Indo-Canadians so fearful for their lives, they began wearing bulletproof vests before leaving their homes.
Are you wearing one right now?
Yes, I do.
Can we see it?
Yes.
In February 2024, CTV News spoke with an individual who claimed he'd carried out multiple extortions while taking orders from an organized crime leader in India.
How many targets have you hit? How many homes? How many businesses?
In Canada, like around, I think 30 or 35, 40.
The federal Conservatives say the government's announcement today will do little to keep Canadians safe, with public safety critic Frank Caputo sharing his belief that criminals don't comply with regulations and they will find a new way to launder their crime money unopposed by weak liberal laws.
The federal government says that private financial institutions will also be helping track down the money trail. Previously, the RCMP has linked the Lawrence Bishnoi gang out of India with extortions in BC, Alberta, and here in Ontario.
Adrian Gabriel, CTV News.
Coming up on CTV News at 5, a giant Irish flag gets a special blessing before embarking on a multi-city St. Patrick's Day parade journey. Also, here's what you need to know. Head over to the Canadian Tire Centre this Sunday for Send Skills. The annual event sees the Ottawa Senators split into 2 teams to face off in various skill events, including fastest skater, accuracy shooting, and more. The event starts at 1 p.m. Again, that's Sunday. We'll be right back. Coming up later tonight after the news on CTV, E-Talk starts at 7, The Big Bang Theory at 7:30, Next Level Chef at 8, then back-to-back episodes of Sullivan's Crossing. Now for another check on the weather forecast, Jackie is live in studio with us tonight. Jackie.
Well, thanks so much, Steph. We had a stretch of some dry as well as mild conditions, but this is going to change tomorrow evening. It could make for a messy commute home. Here's a live look through our Centennial Glass Sky Cam showcasing Sussex Drive looking out towards the Ottawa River. It's -1 degrees right now, and the sun starting to set around 5:30 now, so it is a beautiful sunset here for our Thursday. Taking a look at temperatures across Eastern Ontario, well, it's sitting around 1 degree in Cornwall, about 0 in Petawawa, but again, lots of sunshine for today. So take advantage of today because things are going to change tomorrow. We're going to have mainly cloudy skies, -6 to start things off, but with that wind chill, it's going to feel closer to -13. The wind is going to start to pick up around the noon hour with gusts between 40 to 60 kilometers per hour. So keep an eye. It will be windy. By the time the evening rolls around, there is a chance that we could start to see some light snow moving through. But for parts of Eastern Ontario, this could mean a special weather statement in effect. So up to 10 centimeters of snow for Smiths Falls, Brockville, including Bancroft. None here for Ottawa, Cornwall right now, but we are keeping a very close eye on this. We will likely see the wintry mix moving in through Kingston around noon tomorrow. So freezing rain, but light flurries. Then it's going to steadily move towards Ottawa, Pembroke, and last until well into just after midnight on Saturday. Now taking a look temperature-wise, well, for the Seaway, it's going to be about 0 overnight, cloudy skies. The snow mixed in with rain for tomorrow. Daytime high 1 degree. And in the valley, temperatures are going to be around -7 overnight. Daytime high also sitting around the freezing mark, but not going to get much in terms of sunshine. This will continue into Saturday, where it will likely see a mix of sun and cloud moving into Sunday. Sunday evening, probably see some light snowfall or flurries as well. We'll keep a close eye on this as well. So taking a closer look now at the next several days, the chance of flurries really for most of our weekend. Temperatures still sitting around -5, -2 degrees by Sunday. We'll get a bit of a warm up on Monday and some dry conditions. Tuesday, we'll likely see when we could see the sun returning here in the capital. Stefan.
Thank you for this, Jackie. And here's a look at the stories you are checking out right now on ctvnewsottawa.ca. If you go to our homepage, you can see that we do have our breaking news banner up. Olympic heartbreak, U.S. women beat Canada in overtime for gold. It was an intense game, but if you scroll down just slightly, we also have this article, the most canceled OC Transpo bus routes during the first week of February. And you may be astonished by the number. OC Transpo canceled 1,577 bus routes between February 1st and February 7th. A lot of them serve the downtown core. OC Transpo users not happy about that. Coming up for us here on CTV News at 5. Using artificial intelligence to help Canadians get their groceries. We'll have more details shortly. And here's what you need to know. Take in some live theater with the production of Sherlock Holmes and The Locked Room. The play is at the Gladstone until February 28th. It features the story of Sherlock Holmes and Dr. Watson locked in a room with their greatest adversary, Professor. Head to the Gladstone's website for tickets. Also, if you need gas this evening, one of today's cheapest gas prices can be found at the McEwen Station on Dunrobin Road in Canada. Regular gas there tonight is going for 123.1 cents a litre. We'll be right back.
Get the latest live local breaking news. Sign up now for our morning and evening CTV News Ottawa newsletter. The best local content from CTV News, Your Morning Ottawa, and News Talk 580 CFRA. Get it all in one place. Sign up now at ctvnewsottawa.ca. The CTV News Ottawa newsletter is brought to you in part by CAA Business.
Here's a live look through our Centennial Glass Sky Cam. Current temperature -1. Here's what we're working on for 6 o'clock.
As you can see, there's not a lot of people in our school who play hockey, so it's really cool to get to have this day to just watch hockey as a school.
We were all cheering them on, but it was not the golden outcome Canada was hoping for. Our women's hockey team played hard, but was ultimately defeated by the U.S. in overtime in the gold medal game. As OC Transpo users continue to deal with service disruptions, we'll take a look at which bus routes were canceled most often during the first week of February. And the former Prince Andrew has left a police station in the UK after being detained for several hours on suspicion of misconduct in public office in connection to his ties to the late Jeffrey Epstein. Now, the final 5 other stories we're following today. A giant Irish flag was unfurled at the St. Patrick Basilica this afternoon to receive a special multi-faith blessing. The massive flag will be a centerpiece of the Irish Society's 2026 St. Patrick's Day Parade. That parade is taking place on March 7th. The flag will then be taken to Toronto for that city's St. Patrick's Day Parade on March 14th, and finally to the Montreal Parade on March 22nd. 3 dozen volunteers took part in today's event. Loblaw and Google are partnering to let customers use AI tools like Gemini to help them with their grocery shopping. Shoppers will be able to use artificial intelligence to research, compare, and buy products. Loblaw's chief digital officer says it's a natural evolution to the way customers want to shop.
So it was not that long ago, so we still need to remember to never let those things happen again. I cried 3 times.
Students at a Canada high school taking part in a walk till justice and attending a special screening of the movie Till, based on the true life story of Emmett Till, whose murder became a catalyst for the civil rights movement. A final debate will be held tonight between the 5 candidates hoping to become the next leader of the federal NDP. The candidates are filmmaker Avi Lewis, Alberta MP Heather McPherson, dock worker Rob Ashton, social worker Tennille Johnston, and organic farmer Tony McQuail. The debate will be held tonight in British Columbia. Voting for the NDP's next leader will begin on March 9th, with the winner being announced 3 weeks later. That shuffle is the sound of a new round of Mahjong about to begin here in the capital last night. The Mahjong Club, named Capital Tiles, organized this get-together at Mushu Ice Cream on Wellington Street for Lunar New Year. That is CTV News at 5. I'm Stefan Keys. Thanks for watching. Have a great night.